When they want to try, look, even for me personally, my character, they would try to attack my character. They'll say he a rat or he this and that.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is ask him who I told on.
Paperwork.
I ain't never told on no in my life.
Yeah.
In the Prem situation, look at this case. It'll tell you who told on him.
Right.
My name ain't in that case.
Innocent or guilty, criminal or citizen, that could get them any time for any crime. Say, look, if it say, sir, did you see such and such and such, do such and such and such? Oh, wait a minute, only time, the only time.
Show me one place in the federal guidelines where you can have 10 machine and get 1 year of community service and 1 year incarceration.
I said, how you feel when them New York and shit like 50 and all them niggas be trying to do all of those?
I'ma tell you something. When you're fighting a man with no arms, expect to get kicked.
Okay, y'all, if you know anything about 50 Cent, you already know getting on his bad side is a huge mistake, and T learned that the hard way when 50 Cent started dragging him through the mud over these long-standing snitching allegations. T has been stuck with that label for years, and he faced major disrespect from his peers. And of course, 50 was one of the loudest voices. At first, T tried to play it cool and brush off 50 shots. But things got messy over time, and T started firing shots. At 50 now, you'd think T would know better than to poke the bear. But he went and challenged 50 to a 20-track versus battle, even offering it up for 50's birthday. And of course, this only made 50 even more petty. He went and dug up that old 2008 Crime Stoppers ad where T was encouraging people to report crimes, and the internet went wild over that one. But here's the kicker, 50 and Tip actually used to be cool. They worked together on tracks and everything, and they've both done very well for themselves. But despite all that success, the snitching allegations still haunt T and 50 along with others, just can't seem to let it go. Even recently, rumors started flying that T was supposedly up for the role of Davis McLean in Power, but didn't get it because of his beef with 50. Now T has tried to shut this rumor down, saying it's not true, and that he and 50 are cool and have a lot of respect for each other. But 50 is yet to confirm this. But how did T end up with this snitching rep that keeps 50 and others at arm's length? How exactly did things go so wrong between 50 and Tip, and what's really going on between them today? Let's break this all down.
You know what I'm saying? But they talking about, they try to use that I need to order protection, but why it feels like I'm the here then? If I needed protection, you needed protection, and your protection go.
So 50 and T go way back, and their drama is nothing new aside from throwing shade at him all over. So social media, 50's beef with T seems to boil down to a few things. First, T is nonstop begging for a versus showdown, and let's not forget T also stirred the pot by talking smack about East Coast rappers like 50, especially over that infamous Crime Stoppers ad back in 2007. Tip was in some serious hot water after getting busted on gun charges and staring down the hard barrel of a 20-year prison sentence. So he decided to make a public service announcement urging people to help fight crime. Yeah, you heard that right. He was trying to clean up his image after his arrest.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2.
Now you already know this ad rubbed a lot of T.I.'s industry peers the wrong way, and they were quick to slap him with the snitch label. And of course, 50 Cent was one of the first ones to jump on that train. 50 first threw some shots at T on Gun's track, "You So Tough," where he daddies get knocked with 10, Machine Gun only get 12 months. Oh, don't talk to me. You talk to him, you talking to them. I got the best lawyers money can buy. They said they would have got me 10. Or maybe 9. I said, how do you explain how homie Breeze? They said, keep your mouth shut or you eat the chief. So here 50 was referencing that whole situation from 2007 when T.I. was anew at the Bet Hip Hop Awards just hours before he was set to hit the stage. T was arrested on federal charges, and turns out his bodyguard, who was secretly working as an informant, handed over 3 machine guns and 2 silencers to T.I. after T forked over $112,000 for them. Now here's the kicker, T was a convicted felon, so obviously he wasn't allowed to own those weapons, but although he eventually pleaded guilty, his sentence was surprisingly light. Just a year of house arrest, 1,500 hours of community service, and an undefined prison term. Enter 50 Cent pointing out on you so tough that with the best legal team money could buy you typically be looking at a solid 9 to 10 years behind bars for crimes like these. But somehow T dodged that fate, so basically 50 was insinuating that T.I.'s miraculous deal must have come with some serious strings attached, like maybe T had to do a little snitching in exchange for a lighter sentence. So shortly after You Saw Tough came out, 50 was asked about this situation in an interview, and he said, "It's up to the public to decide whether he was talking about T or not." But if you read between the lines, 50 was implying that people already labeled T as the snitch, and he didn't even have to mention his name.
So Tough, to everyone listening to it, is an awesome song. Listen carefully. Actually, you don't have to even listen that carefully. Yeah. There's a line in there directed at another rapper in the game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What line? What rapper you talking about?
It was a line that has you questioning that you have, is it true you have the best lawyers in the game?
I feel like I do.
Okay.
I have great.
And you asked them a question that if you got caught with 10 weapons in your car, you would have seen 10 years, maybe 9.
What makes you feel like there's a line to a rapper?
Yeah. It just seemed to be very coincidental with the timing of things that are going on.
That's like.
Can you deliver the line for me 1 second? I don't want to do it injustice.
You use real life situations to create something that's entertaining without being specific. That's entertainment to me. Like if I had an issue, when have you known me to be indirect with an issue?
Oh, you're pretty direct.
Right, so if I had a problem with any artist, trust me, they would know. You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that. They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
Will you drop the line for me, that line that starts off with about having the best lawyers in the game?
I got the best lawyers money can buy. They said it would have got me 10 or maybe 9. I said, well, how do you explain how homie breathes? I said, to keep your mouth shut or you eat the cheese. You so tough.
Are you telling me that's not directed at a specific rapper?
Well, I can't. Well, my intentions, if I have a problem, you know me, my MO, and I would just say something. You know, so it's not really directed at him. It's me taking real life situations that these things are relevant to hip hop. Period. You see what I'm saying? So I take it and I make something that's interesting enough for people to sink their teeth into, and then I move forward. If you have beef, then we make it beef.
Can you understand? Well, you know me, I'm direct too. Yeah. Is that line about T.I.?
Absolutely, for the public to decide.
Now, as for T, he was also asked about this right around the time Gunnett dropped You Outta, and it seemed like back then he was still ready to give 50 the benefit of the doubt, although let's be real, T really couldn't afford to fight back at this time because the feds were watching him.
But how are you dealing with when like the 50 cents are coming at you?
Well, I mean, honestly, man, like, to be perfectly honest with you, man, I gotta deal with each situation as how I hear it come out of the person's mouth. You can misinterpret songs, lyrics, you know what I'm saying? When you're being interviewed and someone asks you, how do you feel about this? I gotta take that. I gotta take your verbal rather than listen to your lyrics and jump to a conclusion. And when I heard him speaking on it, he said he wasn't talking about me, you know what I'm saying? And me and 50 always had a decent rapport, you know. It wasn't never nothing negative. So, and like he said this in conversation. At the same time, he said, man, he's never had a problem with saying people's names when he's speaking on them. And like that's not like 50. If he going at somebody, he usually say their name and make it known. It's usually not ever whether or not. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that it's just unnecessary to jump to a conclusion and, you know, create an issue where there is none.